Well, today is the day that I've been waiting for all spring. It is finally time to harvest honey from the bee colonies, and I'm excited to share with you the steps that I take to pull frames out of the colonies. Then we'll head into the house and I'll show you how we uncap the frames and get them prepared for extraction using two different techniques available to us. I'll also show you how we load those frames into our homemade honey extractor. Then we'll see how the extractor turns that honey into liquid gold as it pours out into our buckets. And finally, I'll show you how we bottle our honey so that we can share it with others. The last couple of videos have been filmed at the apiary in my backyard. I thought for this video it'd be fun to show you a little bit different scenery. So we're at our apiary that is on the other side of town. We've brought the pickup truck with us so that as we collect the frames of honey and put them into spare boxes and bring those back to the house, we don't have to worry about getting other vehicles sticky. Easy to wash down. So we've got our smoker lit. We're just getting our protective gear and gloves on so that we can go up and start opening that colony. I'm going to let this portion of the video run in fast forward mode. Here I'm going to walk you through how we pull the supers off of the colony, uh, pull out the frames one by one, and put them into the back of the truck in order to take them home. Uh, this portion of the day took us about 60 minutes. The colony is Langstroth style colony, 10 frames per box. Uh, the supers contain the honey. Below the supers is a queen excluder, and below those is two deep boxes or brood chambers where the queen will raise brood. So the camera is set up on a bucket, angled such that you can see both the colony as well as the truck where we're placing the frames at. 7 supers were on this colony, so it's been a fairly good spring. It's been a warm spring. Spring came a little early. We had a good mix of sunshine and rain early, so the floral sources really got a good jump start this year. Enabled us to get up to 7 supers of honey on this colony. So what we're doing here is we took apart the hive. We took the supers off and we set them down to the side, made a stack, and then we put an empty box on top of the colony so that we have room to shake each frame that we pull out of the super. We shake it over the colony, over the empty box, and it just gives space for the bees that are on that frame to gently tumble off the frame and fall back into their colony. That gives us a chance to take the frame free of bees at this point and walk over and put it into an empty box that's sitting on the back of the truck. You'll notice that as I move frames one at a time down to the truck, I'm lifting up a towel, putting the frames in, and then putting the towel back. This is an attempt to keep the bees that are flying around in the air away from the boxes that we want to take home. We want to keep as many bees out of these boxes as we can because when we take these boxes home, we're going to harvest indoors at the house, and we want to keep the bees out if we can. We do use smoke on our bees. Smoke will help calm the bees, especially if they're overly flighty, if they want to come up out of the colony and fly in and around your veil, be in your face, check you out, see what you're doing. Sometimes the bees will get a little aggressive and they'll want to sting you. If they detect that you're taking apart their colony or if you're removing honey from your colony. In this case, the bees here at the farm are generally pretty gentle. So we use light smoke every once in a while just to help corral the bees and get them to move out of the way so we have room to work. So we got a full stack of boxes on the back tailgate of the truck. Here I'm just going to redistribute the boxes so that they're an approximate even height. That way the towel can cover both and keep bees from getting in them as we continue to pull some frames. Well, you can see that there's two of us working this event today. My father-in-law is helping to pull these frames out of the colony. He's using a combination of shaking each frame, and then you might be able to see he's using a soft bristle bee brush. Any bees that don't um, tumble off and out of the way once the frame has been shaken, he'll use the brush and just gently brush them right off the frame. It generally works really well. It's a quick and easy technique to move bees off of frames. It's generally pretty gentle to the bees and doesn't harm them. Couple of these frames, as we're shaking the bees off the frames, we're noticing that nectar and honey is falling out of the frames. So we are going to leave about 1.5 supers behind. Typically, when you harvest, you'll wait until the frames have been capped with a layer of wax. Once the bees cap them, they're happy with the moisture content of the honey. Uh, Prior to them being capped, that they may not be at the right moisture content. So we're going to leave a few behind. That'll give us a head start for fall honey, and we'll go ahead and take the frames that we've collected so far. I'm just ratchet strapping down these boxes so that they don't shift in transit on the way back home. And I'll also take a strap and I'll put it around the top and secure the towel in place. Again, we got to traverse through town in order to get back to the house. Several stop signs, stop lights, plenty of parks and pedestrians along the way. Didn't want to attract a lot of bees and take them back with me. So here we go. If you're curious, here's a shot of looking inside of one of those super boxes with all 10 frames in there. What we do next is we take out one frame at a time and we'll hold it above a food grade plastic bucket and we will uncap or remove the layer of wax that the bees have added to protect the honey in the honeycomb. In this shot here, I'm using a serrated bread knife, very simply just placing the blade down flat against a frame, using a back and forth sawing motion from bottom to top, and it removes the wax cappings off very cleanly, very quickly. Another technique that we can use, especially if the wax isn't drawn out wide enough for the knife to be helpful, is to use a capping scratcher. This is a plastic fork-like tool with many sharp tines on the top, and you can slide these underneath of the cappings, lift the fork outwards, and it will uncap or it will rip the cappings or scratch the cappings to expose the liquid honey underneath. So after each of the frames are fully uncapped, we take them and we load them one at a time into our homemade honey extractor. This extractor we made several years ago holds up to 8 frames, super medium supersize frames, or 4 deep frames. If you needed to extract deeps, you could run 4 at a time. Otherwise, if you're running medium supers, it'll hold up to 8. So what we're doing here is we are loading the frames one at a time. As you lift the frames up and into the bucket, we get a feel for how heavy they are. So we're trying to put equally weighted frames on opposite side of the basket from one another so that when the extractor spins, it will spin with a good balance. So here we're putting in the 6th frame. We got 2 more to go. Once all the frames are loaded, then we will power up the motor to the extractor and set the speed selector to slow, initially to start. That will allow the frames to spin in a centrifugal fashion, and the honey will fling out of the frames, hit the walls of the inside of the extractor, and drain down and pool into the bottom. This is one of the most exciting parts of the entire day, getting to open the gate at the bottom of the honey extractor and watching your honey harvest pour out of the extractor and into the buckets. As the honey flows out of the extractor, it passes through 2 plastic filters and then into a food grade 5-gallon bucket. When the bucket fills, we will replace it with another empty one. Once all the buckets are filled, we'll let them sit overnight, allow the air bubbles to raise to the top, and then we will bottle up the honey into mason jars. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, please drop them down below. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a great day.